And so you're introducing more financial capital into the economy, but potentially removing human capital from the economy, which means that your productivity could decrease.
Ooh.
And
Have you seen the charts of productivity versus income over the past 40 years?
I'm talking
Yeah,
potential.
productivity has been decoupled from human input for a while, actually. So,
Okay, sorry, you carry on.
With innovation.
yeah.
Well, so potentially, if you have lower productivity in a sector which doesn't use,
Yeah.
then that shortfall has to be made up from imports, and so your money is going to leave the country.
Possibly. Who's an economic expert? You're the first person that comes to mind.
Well, as I said,
Not my area
if
of
you're going to be using the existing frameworks, it will appear that way. But let's talk about the inflationary argument in relation to that. Joseph Stiglitz won a Nobel partly because of a work he's done called the Henry George effect. Now, the Henry George effect actually says that the infrastructure and basic services provided to a community eventually raises the land values more than the expenditure put on it. So what does that tell you? You can actually recover capital expenditures, basic services, from land value taxes alone. And that's a very secret why Australia managed to build the Sydney Harbour Bridge during the Great Depression. They recovered their capital costs from the increased land values of both banks of the river. But they're not teaching that in schools.
No, they should.
So if they tax it, then you get rid of the whatever risks of liquidity triggered inflation when you tax it. But then again, what's the benefit there? You need less taxes to actually build the good stuff. You don't even have to borrow from abroad, which is what they're telling poor countries like the Philippines to do. You can actually print money responsibly to provide it and recover it from land value taxes, not income taxes, no consumption taxes, but simply land value taxes, recovering the economic rent of the area.
So taxing privilege, not production.
Privilege is theft. Social justice is not.
I'm going on someone I don't know. How are you people?
Hi, my name's Ross. I'm just saying that effective marginal tax rates can be very high on poor people and actually draw them out of productivity.
Yeah.
A basic income would have the opposite effect for those people and draw them more into productivity.
Yeah. It's, one of the sort of the mistakes that we've made with our organisation of these talks is we haven't yet had what is a basic income meet up yet. Even though most of you are the first time here anyway, but yeah, the arguments for basic income